Hey, folks, we've got a zinger. We've got a really good one for you today, folks. I tell you what, this is the show. I'm Joe, but we've had some big dogs on this program before, but today we got the dog. My guest today has spent more than 2 decades inside K-12 education, doing something most leaders in comfortable, high-performing suburban districts are not doing. He kept asking harder questions about what the data was telling him, that maybe he should just stop and relax a little bit, right? He's a 2-time National Digital Principal Award winner from NASSP, a published author a couple of times over, ISTE Digital Equity Fellow, and the superintendent of North Shore School District on the North Shore of Chicago, folks.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of this year, I think he's going out for an extended recess break, but I'll let him tell you about that. Dr. Michael Lubelfeld, welcome to the show, my friend.
Dr. Joe, thanks for having me. It is so great to be here. I'm a longtime listener, first-time caller.
Oh, my goodness. Stop it.
Sorry about that. It's all good. No, I'm happy to be here with you. I am about to conclude my 16th consecutive year as a Illinois public school superintendent, my 8th year here on the North Shore, beautiful shores of Lake Michigan, and my 33rd year in public education.
How are you feeling about all of this right now?
Okay, exhilarated, excited, anxious, scared, happy, sad, ready, and melancholy.
Oh, so that, yeah, a cocktail of a lot of things going on right now. But I tell you what, you've earned that, and you are one of the most ebullient. That's on the vocab test on Friday. Ebullient.
I like that.
Leaders that I've had a chance to bump into. So let me put what you've been fighting into context. Okay, American education. Let's just talk direct, especially in high-performing suburban districts. I think there's a seduction problem going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the seduction of, hey, we have good test scores. You know, we got real strong community support. We got a successful hockey team.
Yeah.
You know, we have high property values. You know, and the board isn't in crisis. The system whispers. That the system just kind of whispers, like, hey, you're done. Put your feet up, coast a little bit. Right? But most leaders in your position accept that whisper, but I have seen you reject it and actually antagonize that whisper, right? So tell me what is in you that has your dukes up fighting the right fight every single day in a district where you could actually just kind of keep your target rate right where it's at. Where is that coming from?
So, I love that question. So, Joe, everyone looks at you or looks at me or looks at the next guy or looks at the next gal and makes immediate judgments. We're human, therefore we're biased. We're human, therefore we have prejudices, meaning we prejudge. Not all negative, it is there. So people will look at me at 57 3/4 with whatever my station is in life and successes in books and this and that, and decide what I am, who I am, and where I came from. The reality is, and you know this, we're people. The fire inside of me started for a variety of good, medium, bad, and all of the above experiences in my youth. I come from a family in a northwest side of the Chicagoland area, suburbs. My upbringing and all of that built some sort of fires and flames in me. People have influenced me. So the legit short answer is, other people have seen fires inside of me and have helped me not put them out, but take them and do good things. So those around me have mentored, guided, and coached me. And what you see and what you think may or may not be accurate or partially accurate, but what you don't know until you get to know me or anybody is really what drives us. And what drives me is a passion to help others.
Yeah, I can see it.
Be independent, be successful. So, yeah. Good.
Yeah. So, and you wrote a book, The Unfinished Leader. What a wonderful functional title that I think a city superintendent publicly declaring he doesn't have it all figured out. For some, that's like being kind of vulnerable. But you're pushing against all of that self-preservation, right? In a profession that actually rewards performance clarity. Tell me where that title came from and a little bit about what that book is about.
You got it. So 2 quick shout outs to Nick Polyak, current Illinois Superintendent of the Year, good friend, and PJ Capozzi, recent Illinois Superintendent of the Year, good friend. They're my co-authors. So we wrote it together. Under the backdrop of the COVID-19 pandemic, the 3 of us are superintendents in the state of Illinois, and we said it has nothing to do with the pandemic, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Our leadership, though, had to have been and was a through line. How are we 3 leaders going to make an impact today and have a legacy for the profession that says, we're good. We've got great boards, great teachers, great families. We're struggling, though. We don't know how to deal with a worldwide global pandemic and the politics and the anxiety and the trauma and the drama. So what we did is we came up with, in our cathartic way of writing, we're not golfers, we're writers, a framework for school leadership growth and development independent of pandemic, whatever your daily pandemic is. And we basically say to you, you're never going to be the best version of yourself. You're never going to arrive. You're not a relay racer. What you're going to do is you're a constant racer, and you're going to be the next version of yourself, like an app in your phone.
So good. Yeah. So good. Yeah, that is the mindset, isn't it? So then we never arrive. We never get to graduate from this thing called continuous improvement, not just in the system, but of ourselves. The person you look in the mirror every single day and go, yeah, I did some things yesterday that were learning opportunities, right?
Fantastic. Yeah, it's cool to make a mistake, man.
It's cool to make a mistake. I think that's clippable. Yeah. That's clippable. Whoever's rendering this video, that's clippable. I want to look back on just the full arc of your career, which has just been all things amazing. What do you think suburban K-12 leaders, they just get most wrong? Not your district, the sector. What's the thing that most of your peers kind of choose, maybe accidentally, that you couldn't bring yourself to choose?
Legit hubris as opposed to legit humility.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Legit humility. Unpack that a little bit. I mean, you just threw out a wonderful teaching strategy, which is compare and contrast.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The leaders that we've seen stay, and we meaning the collective, because it's not an I. Leadership is a team sport, and you know what I mean. The leaders we've seen stay are those who've got pride and confidence and strength and conviction and humility to say, ooh, I am sorry. I did mess that up. Here's what my aims were and are, and that method didn't work, and I'm sorry, and we're going to go there. Hubris is, I'm the leader, I'm the expert, I know it, and you're going to do what I say and I want because I've got referent authority. Those are the ones that get walked out. Those are the ones with the suitcase, not a briefcase, in this type of world. Humility is humble enough to know that I serve at the pleasure of others.
Yeah,
I don't serve at my pleasure, and this is not about me. It is about we and us. That is the best leadership lessons I've learned, and I try to teach.
We're going to bring that back, but just that character, just the integrity of, I'm not always the smartest guy in the room. Right? No. Oh, that's attractive. I'm leaning in going, well, you're kind of right, because this person over here is an expert in that thing that you're fumbling around with. Right? If you're a leader and willing to just admit, my job is to create the conditions and build this tool chest out here for you to use. That's my job. My job is not to sit at the head of the table. And I think we're planets away from where that used to be, but there's still some of that residue in that broken system of ours.
Oh yeah.
Agree?
I mean, yeah, you got to have a phone a friend. And the phone a friend isn't to brag on how great you are and what you just did. The phone a friend is to say, I'm dealing with a set of challenges. I don't know what to do. Please help me.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes that phone a friend is actually to brag on what you just did, because you don't get to do that from the post of your office, right?
That's true.
I want to look back, ask about some of the things you just learned about yourself. You've been a work in progress, and you ain't done yet. You're not done yet. I want to ask what you learned about yourself in this career that probably couldn't have happened any other way. If you chose a different career path, right? What this career actually taught you, the thing that work taught you that you didn't expect it to teach you before getting into the game.
Our impact on people is profound and lifelong. and exceedingly powerful. And it isn't just the quotes like, you've got a lot of influence, you can do this. It's real. And as I get older, and as I talk to former students, who are in their 40s and 30s and raising families, and as I see leaders that I've had the privilege of working with and coaching, we influence a lot of people in this profession, and we've got to be real mindful of that. And part of that begs humility and honesty and vulnerability, because people are watching, and you don't even know who's watching and who's learning, and you don't even know who you're inspiring or influencing. I've learned that that's a huge sort of existential leadership lesson.
Yeah.
People are watching and listening.
So good. So good. And one of the interesting things that I've seen you also pull off is that you don't have a superintendent opening right now, even though your retirement is right around the corner. You've been working on succession planning for a while. You've had that mindfully. And I would wonder, maybe for our listeners out there, when did you begin the process of succession planning? What did it actually look like in your planning? Not your chart, more the philosophy. I want to hear about the philosophy, and you can share as much as you want about the tactile parts of that. But you're doing it the right way is how I want to just anticipatory set this thing right out of the gates.
Appreciate that. So my first superintendency, I had 3 years in a small district, northwest side of Chicago, little suburb, little school. It was amazing, great people. I really didn't know anything about succession. It was where I started my career, and I left there to take a bigger job, a more prestigious job. So judge me if you want. Don't hate on me. That's the truth. That's an honest answer.
He's honest.
Yeah, my career was to grow it, and I did it, and they were great, and I love them, and that was that. So my second superintendency was in Deerfield, Illinois, where I live and raised my family with my wife and all that. And I was my kid's superintendent for 5 years. That was really good for 4 years. I need the boom. We did everything we could do. I'm a fixer. I like when things are a little messed up. So I came in, things were a little messed up, and then the teachers, everybody fixed it. I was hired here in December to start in June, and I was not mature enough, Joe, to really deal with succession planning for the organization. It was really still about me. So it wasn't the most humble part of my life and my career. So when I came here, and for all the various reasons I came here and all that, great decision, fun stuff, the district's right next door, and I used to work here, whole story. The board that brought me in, we started with an eye on the end because they knew this was my last stop on my career train. If it didn't go well, I could have worked the first 5 years and left. Thankfully, it went well, and I turned it into 8 years. 5 or 6 years ago, which was in the throes of COVID, 5 or 6 years ago, the town also suffered a mass shooting here in Highland Park. 5 or 6 years ago, the board and I were negotiating my next final contract. And we tried to do it 6 years out for a 5-year contract, and we couldn't come to terms. And I had said, friends, listen, don't focus on me. I've asked you for one thing. You said no, love you guys, but we got to it, but they didn't. I said, I'm good. I'm not going anywhere. Let's invest in the team, though. And we've got some super duper stars, and you'll hear about the superstar in a moment. The next year, they said, Mike, we really should negotiate the contract. I said, you guys are awesome. I asked for one thing. So you said no, which is cool. I respect you, but you have to come back with something.
Yeah.
I said, but more importantly, where are we going with the team? Long drawn out story short, I said, I didn't do succession well in my last 2 superintendencies. Here's the deal. You've got options in front of you. You can do an intergalactic search and spend gads of taxpayer dollars hiring search firms or private, public. You can have me interview people, which I'm not asking for, and I don't recommend. Or you can look about 20 feet down my office and look at the exemplary deputy superintendent who I love and who is going to take over. And you can ask her, is she even interested? You can see if you guys have a vision, and you can like slow roll a private confidential breakfast interview process with her. And if that works, great. And if it doesn't, at least you've exhausted that, and then we can go to the other step. Because the point is, I'm going to announce my retirement in May of 2024. I was on a 4-year contract because I said, I'm retiring June 30th, 2026. I'd love to do this. And the board was like, okay, doing this and that. The board is exemplary, Joe, because they did what most boards won't do. They're paying extra weight here to have a 2-year succession and transition so the community, the organization, the schools, the leadership can smoothly have a peaceful transfer of power. I'm the first superintendent to retire from the district since 2014. There's been a little turmoil here. And Dr. Monica Schrader.
There we go.
Been here for 20 years.
All rise. Yes.
Superstar. She's been the deputy superintendent for 8 years. And she wanted them and they wanted her. And they did it privately with honor, dignity, and respect. And when they were able to come to terms, I announced in May 2024 I was retiring. And in June of 2024, they announced that she was going to take over. She gets the baton of leadership. The work's not finished. I'm not finished. She's not finished. But the board and I had our, that's a cute little.
Look at that. Look at that. That's because you use the word baton, I think, like an Englishman.
You're like,
look at that.
I know your editors are like, okay, get this guy off.
I know. We're keeping it.
We did a 2-year deliberate and intentional, expensive transition. And Monica is an excellent leader. She's going to be a great superintendent. And the board invested in the organization and in her. And they allowed me to be the extra guy, for a year. First year, it was just me and her doing stuff behind the scenes. This year, the leadership team has seen Monica taking over. The community has seen Monica also representing the district and doing some real good work. And I've been able to be a quasi-emeritus as I ride out peacefully and painlessly.
I've only seen that done in just a few districts. None to the quality that you have there, but for a board to consider something like that is the standard. Let's just call it. It is the standard.
They're amazing.
The work to be done without a hiccup in the transition. You must get away from this conventional thing that says we have an opening in April and we'll try to hustle, and squeeze our butt cheeks as tight as we can with hope to see if we can't figure this thing out. And it still takes a good 2 years when the new leader comes in to actually just get a sense of what is.
Yeah.
So hats off. If we were both wearing them, hats off. I don't know, hat policies. That was my job as a high school principal. The only thing I did was take hats off of kids. Hey, friends, quick question before we get back to it. I know that you have talented people on your leadership team, but is your team actually performing to its full potential? Most aren't, and most don't know why. The Team Intelligence Assessment is a solution to change that. Find out where your team stands at higherperformancegroup.com. Go to find your starting point to get started today, or click the QR code in the screen right here. All right, back to the show. Yeah, that was a really easy job. It's kind of hard, but
there you go.
Let me ask you honestly, as you're thinking about stepping out and you've had this incredible gradual release, which is just a wonderful teaching strategy as well, of bringing on new leader to just figure out how to excel and eclipse everything that you've done. Is there any unfinished business? If you just thought, if I had, like Tom Brady, if I had one more quarter to play.
Yeah. This is the part that gives me that anxiety and that melancholy and that sense. And I know it and I teach it and I preach it. There's never enough. No matter how good our leadership has been and the board has been and the kids and the teachers, they're heroic. No matter how much we've accomplished, it's never enough. There's never more. And that's a fault I have and a fault a lot of people have. I'm leaving the campfire as good as I can and a heck of a lot better than I found it. We're not done. Continuous improvement and growth. So yeah, the work, this organization, everything is so unfinished, Joe. It's like Mike 2.0 will be something fun and cool and hopefully more time with my wife and kids and family and stuff, a little bit of work. But Mike 1.0 right now is tired also.
Yeah.
Now, I hadn't felt tired for most of my career. I was exhausted like we all are, but I wasn't tired. I've been tired a little bit and it's time.
Good for you.
It's unfinished, but yeah, it's time.
Yeah, to be able to just be self-aware enough, but also self-managed. Sometimes we're tired and we don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Then we have a tired boss that's like leading to burnout within the organization. And then that leads to distrust and all the other things. So I throw this out to some of the best thinkers that I have a chance to bounce around with. I'm very, very resolute in the fact that our system is broken, our K-12 system. And that's not a district, that is the system. We're
Agreed.
working so hard to occlude gaps that are not budging, right? With people that care so just remarkably about the work and the profession, but it's just not. Everybody's bumped into the ceiling right now. Nobody's been able to fix the system. We see bright shining lights, but and I think the problem on the outside is trust. I'm just going to point to it. There's just a lot of trust from the outside, and you may see it a little bit differently. But there's this inside issue, if you will, of just burnout. It's like, boss, I can't pedal any harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can we do? If you were to consult like the world power on fixing the K-12 system with a macro idea, what would that be? How can we go about fixing the macro problem of K-12 public education?
If I had a magic wand, Dr. Joe, I would remove what we believe is the schedule or class matrix or 38, 42, 46, 55 minutes per class.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would lose that. I'd go back to what I romantically envisioned was a 1970s free spirit hippie way of having those doors open in the 4 classrooms.
Open classrooms.
And you got 4 teachers and 90 kids, and it's interactive and interdisciplinary. I'll tell you this, today, 2026, the Alpha School, and I don't know any of these people. I just read and I follow. And I don't even know if it's
this is amazing, folks. Lean in, because this is a real live school. Go. I mean, this is an unpaid advertisement as well.
I'll tell you, Alpha, keep going. You're doing great. I do criticize your $55,000 per pupil stipend only because I'm a free public school guy, and I've got folks paying that in taxes. And you get the idea. So I don't want to get political.
Yep.
I love what they're doing, though, and what they're saying is, hey, I can compact your 6-hour academic day into 2 hours, and I can take the 4 hours you don't have, public school guy, and I can give them the stuff that you're dying to give them. So I'd love to conceptually, not into strategy and tactic, but conceptually learn what they're doing and apply it for taxpayer dollars here in public schools. That's big picture one. I've logged some classroom hours this year. It's been a blessing. I've been able to co-teach with 4th grade, 6th grade, and 8th grade teachers. And from 8:28 to 9:07, at 9:08, I was like, we're just hitting our stride. And these kids got to leave. Get the kids back. That's right.
Good for you for getting into the classroom and just remembering that it isn't working. And it isn't working. And you have the most caring individual that's there every single night just trying to make it work a little bit better.
They're amazing.
I dream of the day of just sitting in a boardroom with a whiteboard and a marker and sitting down with people like you to be able to actually put some of this construct together. Because I do think the greatest opportunity that we have right now is to be leading in public education. I don't think this is the worst of time. This is actually the best of times. And I wish we had a bit more time to get into it, but I want to get into the lightning round because you are the standard. And before I do that, if I had a shirt that this is a small, I don't know. Can you fit a small t-shirt?
I can't, but I love that t-shirt.
Yeah.
I love that message.
I wear these in the airports and I give these shirts away. And you are the standard for canceling all things average. So before we go into the lightning round, I just want to say that right out of the gate. So you are the standard for canceling all things average. Lightning round time. You ready? Buckle up.
Let's
go. So is there a quote that you live by?
Yeah, it's from Theodore Roosevelt, and I love him, and I wish I could meet him if I could. So do what you can with what you have where you are.
Boom.
Let's go.
Right there. Worst advice that you've ever received in leading people? Don't name the source.
Ooh, careful. Focus on the adults in public education before the kids.
Boom. Best advice?
Focus on the kids. No. Best advice was take care of other people and help other people.
Do you have any unpopular opinions that
I
you're
have
eager to defend?
I have many, and I'll tell you this: even to you, few naysayers out there, or many, still love you. And as Michelle Obama says, when you go low, I go higher. The unpopular opinion I have de jour is I believe that generative artificial intelligence, used properly, ethically, and responsibly with human in the loop and human oversight, can individualize and personalize and create equity, opportunity, and access for each child every day and each adult every day to help us soar and go past where we are right now.
Love or hate in the comments right now, folks. Love or hate. But
Yeah.
that's a bold statement. That is a very bold statement. And I think I'm hearing a thunderous applause out there.
Woo,
Have
thank
you
you.
changed your mind about anything recently?
I changed my mind a lot. Like,
Yeah.
holy guacamole, what on earth am I doing? I have changed my mind that public schools should be independent of the micro, independent, parochial, creative home. We've got to be bridge builders. And I believe in the multiple choices that ASU GSV was advocating at their last big conference.
There it is. And you're actually moderating a roundtable with me in June around that very topic. So, folks, you might want to check that out. How about a decision in your career that you would make 10 times over again, boss?
Choosing to come here to North Shore School District 112 for this 8-year superintendent run after having worked here for 13 years prior, and just thriving with some of the finest people in the education, in the community. I can go on. Coming back was the best decision. I do it all over again.
Well done. Deep dish, thin crust, Chicagoland boy.
So I love thin crust. My wife loves deep dish. So what kind of pizza do you think we have at home? Deep dish.
In the comments, folks. Yes, the smartest answer would be deep dish today.
I don't like mushroom pizza, but I eat it because my wife.
But you eat it and you put a smile on your face and get, honey, love you. Love you.
Right.
If you were not in education, and I can't even imagine the crevice that would have left. But what would you be doing?
Either marketing or other government service, helping people in some way, some form or fashion.
How about a word or a phrase for North Shore's future?
Well, inspire, innovate, engage is our motto that we live by. And Dr. Monica Schrader is going to continue to inspire, innovate, and engage. She's a super leader, and I wish them all the success in the world. Funny story, people say to her, "Oh, Monica, he's got big shoes. You got big shoes to fill." The best answer, she goes, "I wear different shoes."
I love the competence and her confidence right out of the gates.
Yeah.
Any questions you have for me, in all fairness?
How do you get inspired all the time to bring really thoughtful, crazy, and knuckleheady people like me onto your show?
Yeah, I actually have the benefit of time and focus that most leaders in the system don't have, to be thoughtful about what types of questions, what compelling themes we ought to be bringing to the conversation. So it's the gift that I gave myself a few years ago, stepping away from the institution, to be able to work on the institutions, and hearing the stories actually helps greatly in my practice, especially meeting with standards like you when when I'm looking at a leader over here that maybe has some interference going on in their head and doesn't believe that things are possible. I must hear from the ones that are not just believing and agreeing, but are doing the possible. So that's the best answer I can come up with. Michael, thank you. I know how busy, crazy busy you are in this last lap of your career journey. So appreciate who you are as an individual, what you have built, and I don't believe that you're done. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled on what Act 3 might look like for you. And I think the valuable lesson that we pull away from this, I think in very comfortable districts, right? We can sit back. That is always a choice.
Yeah.
But continuous improvement, that should be the name on every strategic plan. Yeah. I don't believe in strategic plans. I believe in continuous improvement. And when you have a boss that is resolute and understanding that, hey, I didn't quite get it all done, and we're passing the baton off.
That's right.
To others that have different skill sets, are wearing different shoes for a different season to accelerate all things good and productive that you have generated. So yes, bosses across the country that are watching this, it's really not about you.
Not at all.
Not about you at all. Any last bits of encouragement, wisdom, or just something funny for our listeners before we duck out of here today, Michael?
Well, first of all, thank you for this opportunity. It's a pleasure. I'm really honored to be part of the crew of folks who've been with you, Dr. Joe. So thank you. And I'll say education is the ticket to whatever you want it to be. And we in education are those who create the conditions so that everything else can exist. Let's do it together and let's never stop. That's my words. We've got to have that hope and that hopefulness that better times are here and they can come.
Hear and amen, folks. That's the show. Peace, friends. Keep your dukes up, but keep fighting like this an amazing individual that we've had some time with today.
Thank you.
Take care.